So we're going to Artifact 6, which is digital citizenship. This is standard 3.1. We'll create experiences for learners to make positive, social responsible contributions and exhibit empathetic behavior online that build relationships and communities. So in this we'll cover the 6 mini lessons. So mini lesson 1 and 2 about empathetic and social responsibility. Those two lessons will be about cyberbullying and be upstanding, and then a word about ethics. Mini lesson 3 or 4 will be about safe, ethical, and legal digital life. So these two lessons will be about scams and schemes, and then cyberbullying crossing the line. And lastly, mini lesson 5 and 6 will be about digital identity and data privacy. So the first mini lesson is cyberbullying be upstanding. So I just want the students to be able to answer, what is cyberbullying? And then the objective of it, in this lesson, students will learn what cyberbullying is and what it means to stand up for something that you see wrong. And then so a brief description of this lesson, students will do case studies and then basically report what they learned in this case studies. So here's just a picture of the mini lessons again. So cyberbullying be upstanding. The students are doing case study and then they'll do a report of one of the case studies. So they have a couple of options of the case studies. Here are two of the 6 options that they had. Option 1 is about a young lady, a 14-year-old girl who started withdrawing herself from all social activities. People began to kind of take notice of it because her anger became her only expression and emotion for her family. But it took her about 2 to 4 months of regular counseling just to get back to the normal young lady she was. So again, students had to read this case study and then come up with a report of what they learned and just ways that these kind of things can be avoided just with cyberbullying. So the second mini lesson was about ethics. So again, such a question: what are the rules or conducts for online? The objective. So the ultimate objective for this lesson is for students to develop a set of rules that everyone should follow online. So if there were a set of rules, the students will have something to follow and abide by. So a brief description of the lesson: students will examine rules of different jobs. So as a class, we'll discuss why certain rules are in place, and then students will create a list of rules that everyone will follow online. So here's just a different example of rules for adults at different jobs. So I had the students read these and we kind of talked about it as a class. We make connections because a lot of these are similar. So, if it's similar, does it mean more or is it more important than others? We kind of had those discussions. And then students went in and created their own rules about stuff that everyone should follow online. And all the students kind of agree that, we're all are human, we all make mistakes. So, we shouldn't, bully someone because they made a mistake, or we shouldn't bully someone because they said something wrong. Because again, we all are human, which was rule number 1. Remember the human. So standard 3.3, which is criterion 10. So mentor students in safe, ethical, and legal practice with digital tools and protect of intellectual rights and property. So this mini lesson again, safe, ethical, and legal digital life. So we'll cover scams and schemes and then cyberbullying crossing the line. So essential question for scams and schemes. So how might we prevent students from being a part of scams and schemes online? Then the objective. So the ultimate objective for this lesson is to teach students about online scams and schemes to inform them how to be aware of potential signs, and then a brief description of this lesson. So students will complete different case studies with the partner. Students will identify who was targeted in these scams and schemes and why, and then students will create a report responding to the scam and how it can be prevented in the future. So again, scams and schemes. So students will they'll work with the partner and they'll read different case studies and they'll create a report of how we can avoid these scams and schemes in the future. So the takeaway here was just kind of to make students aware of these scams and schemes so in the future they can know what to be aware of. So here's just again 2 of the many different scams and schemes that they had, and they were going to create a report about it. So on the top one, so it's going to be identity fraud, which is kind of one of the biggest scams and schemes that we have. People getting their identity stolen. In this case, Lady Mary has lost more than $6,000. So students who took that one, they just kind of wrote a report about it. You see the warning signs that was going on. So the SMS advisor Mary her number was being ported to another provider. Then Mary never receiving her new credit card in the mail. So there are a few precautionary steps. So a lock on her mailbox. and it's just kind of different reports and pictures that the students had. How to report to help fight the fraud that we're dealing with, and then just scam alert, letting everyone else know. So mini lesson 4 was cyberbullying crossing lines. So how can we prevent students from bullying others online? The ultimate objective for this lesson is to teach students about cyberbullying and inform them it is against not only just general rules but school rules as well. In a brief description, students will complete different case studies with a partner. Students will identify the cases, how the cases started, and how it ended, and then students will create a timeline to track events that happened in the case. So mini lessons, cyberbullying crossing the line. And here again, two of the many different case studies that student had. With the first one, she was sleeping over at a party. When it goes into cyberspace, one can imagine what kind of trouble it can invite. So 13-year-old Lisa is going for counseling session for the last 5 months to build up her self-confidence and to be able to make friends again. Here's just a picture of a few of the timelines that we have. So the history of cyberbullying, and then the timeline of the victim of the case. So just kind of what's going on and tracking it, trying to just identify, where the student could have received help or reached out for help, or just how things could be avoided. And then standard 3.4, criterion 11. So model and promote management of personal data and digital identity to protect student data privacy. So again, in lesson 5 and 6, digital identity and data privacy. So data privacy. So how can we limit the information that we share online? And then how can we develop an understanding of data collection? So the ultimate objective for this lesson is teach students about data privacy and require them to make better decisions online. So brief description of the lesson. Students will search a fake Amazon website and buy things for Christmas with a fake card. Students also have the option to save their address. So students that purchase items and save their information will receive a hacked message, and students that kind of chooses, not to purchase anything and kind of see something that's wrong with this website, they'll be asked to share, what they seen was wrong and why they ultimately did not choose to buy anything from this fake Amazon website. And then here's just kind of a picture of the fake Amazon website that was used. So you see here at top, AmazonX.com. So just similar this, they're asking students for their email, asking are they new customers, old customers, enter your password. Once you go in, enter this fake information on your card and allow the scammers to receive your information online. So now it's leaking your data online to a fake website. You have no idea how your data is going to be used. And we're trying to expose kids to this information so they can be more aware and just be more careful. And then digital identity, mini lesson 6. So how might we prevent students from sharing too much information and revealing their identity online? Students are going to share information online, but how can we prevent them from sharing too much? Not sharing this personal information. Yes, you can know this. Yes, you can know that. But no, you can't know this other information. So the ultimate objective for this lesson is to teach students about digital identity and inform them that it can be stolen online. In a brief description of this lesson, in this activity, we will create a fake Facebook class page and students will share information. So I will pretend to be different students and gain more information about students to steal their identity. So digital identity. Here's a picture of the couple of the fake templates that were used. Our students were required to put their first and last name, the name they go by, what's your mother's name, what's her number, what is her occupation, same thing with your father or your guardian. Last year, where did you go to school? Who do you live with? What are your favorite things to do? Just trying to learn more about them. Students are also required to submit different things on their homepage, such as photos, notes, and just recent activities. So I was able to learn more about the students and therefore help with identity theft.